everyone and welcome back to my channel. I hope you are having a fantastic day so far. So as you can see from the title down below, today I am testing the new foundation from Revolution. This is the IRL, so in real life, filter foundation from Revolution. This was $9.99. This is a long wear foundation with a breathable soft matte finish. I'm going to be applying this today, doing a full wear test. So just a little bit of background, I have really dry skin. I like a matte finish for the longevity, but I like my skin to still feel hydrated. I like to still look dewy and glowy and all of these good words. So as you can tell, I have it on my face currently. Let's just get into the application. So I picked up the new Revolution foundation. I got the shade F3 because I have the shade F2 in the Conceal and Glow and F4 in the Conceal and Hydrate. Now the F2 is too fair for me and the F4 I can get away with in summer, but at the minute it's just too dark for me. So I'm hoping F3 in the middle of these two will be right for me now. Let's just wait and see. So this has some claims. Firstly, it's $9.99. There's 30 shades, which is fantastic. I think in these two there's 50 or 51. I remember thinking that there's a lot in these other two that I have from Revolution, but there's 30 in this new one. And on the Superdrug website, it says this medium to full buildable foundation has a soft, focused, breathable matte formula and is available in 30 shades. Enriched with niacinamide, it is oil-free, shine-free, crease-proof, life-proof and smudge-proof, whilst providing 16 hours wear from day to night. It is super coverage with 20% more pigment, which makes it easy to build and blend the foundation depending on the coverage you desire. Housed in a glass bottle with built-in pump, this foundation offers precise and greater control. It is your in real life filter. What more could you want? Available in 30 shades. So like I said, I went for F3, which on the website is described as for fair skin tones with a cool undertone. I just wanted the shade in between the two that I already have because neither of those are right for me. So let's just get into it. I have a sponge. On the website it says to use one of their foundation brushes that I don't have. I prefer using a sponge because I have dry skin. I want that hydration to come through from the sponge. I also generally prefer a light to medium coverage. I don't have a lot that I need to cover up, so I do tend to prefer a lighter medium coverage just to even things out, but the filter element is really interesting to me. Although I have dry skin, I do quite like a soft matte natural finish these days. One of my favourite foundations that's up in my everyday drawers up here is a matte one from Cosmetics from Superdrug, and I have just been reaching for it all the time, which I never thought I would with a matte foundation, but I just love the finish of it. So let's just dive straight in. I'm going to start with one pump. It is more liquidy than I was expecting for a foundation that says that it's so like full coverage and buildable and all of those things. I do have a few spots down here that I would like to just dial down a little bit. I don't necessarily want crazy coverage. So that's one pump, and I'm going to go in with my Real Technique sponge and just start blending that out. I'm not using a primer today, just to see how this performs on its own. I do like to use a primer, but not today. Okay, so that is one pump. I'm impressed. I feel like my skin still looks like not dewy, but it doesn't look dry, which is always what I want. But it does genuinely just look blurred. like things are just dialed down a little bit. Everything's just a little bit evened out. That spot that was just here, you can still see, I can still see it, but it just doesn't look as red. Everything just looks so smooth. You can still see my freckles, which I like. My redness is just dialed down a little bit. Everything just looks like a filter. That's incredible. I've never had a foundation look this natural. Like, this does genuinely just look like my skin, but on a really, really good skin day. But better, because you can't see like my redness or anything like that. That's incredible. I wasn't expecting it to look this. Like, I wasn't expecting to still be able to see my freckles and everything through with it saying that it was going to be a full coverage and have this filtered effect. But it genuinely does just look like a filter. I will zoom you in so that you can see just how it looks, like, close up. This is mostly in natural light. I do have a few ring lights up, but I am in front of a very big mirror. Window, sorry. So you can see that it just sort of looks smooth. You can still see that spot, but nothing like it was before. It was very, very red. That's a very good colour match for me as well. Everything just looks just a little bit perfected. I love that. So I will just see if I can layer up a little bit more, because it says that it's buildable, so I should be able to. I'm just going to take another like half a pump, not a full one, and just apply a little bit more down the centre of my face. Not that I feel like I need it, because I feel like that's a really beautiful amount of coverage, really comfortable as well, but it says buildable, so I'm testing that. Okay, so that has built up. It still looks soft. I would almost say that it looks velvety, like it's just smoothed over everything, and everything just does look a little bit sort of airbrushed. It's such a strange look, because I know that I have foundation on. Not that it feels in any way heavy. It doesn't. It feels dry. I would definitely say that this is transfer proof. It feels velvety, it feels smooth, it feels like I've set it. Maybe that's because I've got dry skin, so the moisture's sort of going into my skin. I'm obsessed with this. This looks beautiful. It feels, at this stage, only having it on for like 5 minutes, it feels like it will be quite long lasting. So I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of my face. I have the new cream bronzer from Revolution, so I will just quickly apply this with you now, and then I will go off camera and do the rest of my face. So this was £6, £5, and I love a cream bronzer. I have the putty bronzer right there because I use it every single day. I love a cream bronzer. I can't get into this packaging. I think they had 3 shades of this. I got the shade light, obviously being fairer than most. So that's what it is looking like. It looks quite waxy in comparison to the putty bronzer, but I'll give it a go. Okay, that's incredibly pigmented. Noted. I'm going to just go over with my foundation sponge, because that was a lot more pigmented than I was expecting it to be. Like, a lot more pigmented than I was expecting, so just need to knock that back a little bit. Yeah, that cream bronzer is really nice. That's sitting really nicely on top of the foundation as well. It's a really nice undertone for like contour and bronzer. I wouldn't maybe use it across the forehead again. It is a little bit cool toned just to be bronzer. But on the cheeks, down the sides of the nose and all of that good stuff, that is really, really nice. It's just more pigmented than I was giving that credit for initially, but really, really nice. So I'm going to go off camera, do the rest of my face, and then I will be back. So this is me ready for the day. I am wearing, just for reference, the e.l.f. Putty Blush in the shade Bora Bora. I am wearing the Maybelline Colour Tattoo in On and On Bronze across my eyes. As always, my Eyeliner Brow Pencil and the e.l.f. Wow Brow, and the lipstick is the Rimmel Exaggerate Full Colour Lip Liner in the shade 018 Addiction with the L'Oreal Coloriche Shine Watermelon Plump Lipstick over the top. Beautiful and juicy and glossy. So this has literally just been applied. It is 12:15, so I will check in with you later to see how everything is looking. At the minute, I am so thrilled with how all of this is looking. It just genuinely looks like a filter. Genuinely looks just soft and blurred. Feels like nothing. Everything's gone on really nicely over the top. Everything just looks really, really good. So I will check in with you later to see how all of this is wearing. So just coming in with my check-in. I've put on a coat because it is absolutely freezing. I have properly put this foundation through its paces today. I've been for a walk. I have cleaned my house top to bottom. Everywhere is spotless. And this foundation has been on my face for 7 hours. And it still looks just as good. The lighting isn't great, so I'm just going to apologise for that. The sun is starting to go down. It is a really grey day now. Clouds have just come over, so the lighting is completely different. But the foundation still looks incredible. I'm so impressed with how, firstly, how well it stayed on, and secondly, still how smooth and flawless and airbrushed it looks. I know I keep repeating the same words, but genuinely that is how it looks, even after 7 hours. And I know that this said that it had 16-hour wear, it says on the top of the bottle. Unless it was my wedding day, I wouldn't be wearing a foundation for that long. It's 7 o'clock in the evening now, and I am ready to take all of this off. So this is my very final check-in. It still just looks like it's smoothed over everything. There's a few places like in between my eyebrows here where, like I say, I went out for a walk and I was obviously frowning against the cold, and it's sort of rubbed off and settled a little bit in my creases in between my eyebrows because my face moves. But other than that, even like on my forehead, it still looks fine. I was expecting it to settle into my smile lines, where obviously I'm talking a lot, but it still looks, it maybe looks a little bit settled, but nothing crazy. The redness on my spot, I feel like, has gone down even more since I applied this. Maybe there's some magic going on there, I don't know, but I'm so impressed with how this looks. I have other foundations because I generally lean towards a more glowy, hydrated, dewy look. They don't have that longevity, whereas this just looks incredible. I will also say it's spring and my nose has been running, my eyes have been running, and I feel like where my eyes have been running and I've been like wiping them, it doesn't look like crunchy and crumbly, whereas sometimes it can look like that where it's like gotten wet and then I've wiped it away. Everything just still looks really, really good. I'm so impressed. I've never had a foundation look this good at the end of the day without touching, powdering, anything like that, without sort of rejudging it. This just looks incredible and I'm so impressed. So that is my full review. Let me know if you've picked up this foundation and what you think of it. Like I say, I have really dry skin, so I was a little bit wary of the semi-soft matte claim, but it's beautiful. It's not drying, it's not like dehydrating in like the way that you would think of a matte. It's just a really beautiful, soft, natural finish. It's more coverage than I usually go for. I usually like a light coverage. I would be interested to see how this is just using the tiniest, like not even a whole pump, because this is like a pump and a bit, but seeing how it looks with just half a pump spread out really thinly over the face, if it still gives that blurred effect. So I will link down below. I'm going to write a blog post about this once I've had some more time to play, so I will leave that linked down below if you want to see that. But if you want to see more makeup reviews, more testing, new releases and things like that, then subscribe down below and like this video if you want to see more from me. But until next time, thank you so much for watching. Bye!